on the day of the woman's wedding, her husband donned armor and went off to war. Less than half a year later, news of his death arrived. To keep the broken Ho family intact, the woman worked tirelessly. Her health deteriorated from exhaustion, but just before her death, she heard that her husband was not dead. In fact, he had a full and happy family, with children and grandchildren. Leaning on a cane, the woman painfully walked into the ancestral hall. Her father-in-law was scolding her husband for his misconduct. It was then that she learned. Her husband returned only to wait for her death, so he could make room for the woman he truly loved. She had worked her whole life for the Ho family, enduring illness and pain, yet in the end, she had nothing, while her husband enjoyed a life full of family. At that moment, the woman finally understood. From the wedding to the fake death, this marriage had always been a lie. Her husband had only used her dowry to repair the broken family business of the Ho family. Anger surged within her. She picked up her cane and smashed it into the ancestral hall. Flames instantly engulfed the hall. She had made up her mind. Even if she died in the fire, she would ensure the scumbag was buried with her. Perhaps even the heavens couldn't bear her tragic fate. They gave her a chance to start over. She returned to the day of her wedding. Before she could even react, her mother-in-law hastily sent over the family account books, pretending to hand over the household management to her. The woman immediately refused, citing poor health. She would never again use her dowry to fill her mother-in-law's financial holes. After returning, she ordered her maid to bring the accounts and have the servants take them back. The servants, surprised by how clever and sharp she had become, quickly relayed the news to her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law was unconcerned, thinking the woman was just throwing a tantrum because her husband had neglected her. She instructed the servants to tell her husband that if he could persuade the woman to hand over her dowry, he would be allowed to live happily with the woman he truly loved. However, the man had married the woman for the family's sake, but since he couldn't make her his legitimate wife, he had directed all his anger at her. After the wedding, he never saw her again. He thought that as long as he pampered her a bit, she would be grateful. But when he coldly informed her that he would stay with her tonight, the woman flatly refused. He thought she was playing hard to get, and told her not to be ungrateful. But the woman just sneered, and walked away without a word. The next day, the mother-in-law found out and was furious. To teach the woman a lesson, she purposely made her wait outside when she came to greet her, unaware that the woman had long stopped letting anyone control her. Seeing her father-in-law pass by, she feigned fainting, successfully catching his attention. She then used the opportunity to inform him of the problems in the account books, and marked each questionable entry. Her father-in-law was shocked. He never imagined that the Ho family, after all his hard work, had owed millions in debts. He immediately stripped her mother-in-law of her household management role. When the scumbag heard the news, he angrily stormed into the woman's courtyard, and demanded to know why. After marrying him, she still opposed her mother-in-law for a small sum of money. If this led to him losing his position as heir, she wouldn't have a place in the Ho family. The woman bluntly replied that the marriage was never sincere. They had only proposed to her for money, and after marriage, she had to use her dowry to cover the family's debts. The man had only used her for his own gain. Furious and ashamed, the man decided to suppress her with his fists, but the woman grabbed a vase and smashed it into his forehead. The maid heard the noise and hurried in. The man saw he had no chance to strike, so he